morning. We are headed out to the beach. We're in Positano. We're supposed to get some weather today, so hopefully it holds off. But yeah, we're gonna go exploring, hopefully get some more coffee, and just have a relaxing day. Hey guys, welcome back to World Joe Traveled. Today we're going to be exploring Positano, which is part of the Amalfi Coast. It's around 3 hours south of Rome. So what you can expect from this video is we'll be exploring the beach, eating, and then also we have found some hidden gems that we're going to share with you along this journey. Guys, we've gone down like 1,000 steps and we're not even halfway there. These poor people carrying their luggage up these stairs. I feel so bad for them. But we're making it. My legs are kind of shaking right now, but we'll be fine. I've got my Alani, so I'm good to go. We made it down here. Our legs are still shaking, but it's absolutely stunning. Highly recommend.
I'm getting in the water.
All right, I love you. So how to get to Positano? There's a couple different ways that you can use to get here. The first one would be to rent a car, which is what we decided to do. And that's around 3 hours from Rome if that's where you're driving from. Another option is to take a train to Naples, and then from there you take a bus down to Positano. So that takes around 4 hours. Another option is hiring a driver. This is going to be your most expensive, but it is extremely convenient. We opted, as I mentioned before, to rent a car, and I will say if you do this, just make sure that where you're staying has a place to park. If not, parking is going to be extremely challenging, as the roads are single lane in some areas and parking is really hard to come by. Okay, so we're having some drinks. Mojitos here are delicious and just kind of chilling. It's beautiful. The weather is perfect. It's not too hot. It hasn't rained yet. The view is spectacular.
The water temp is great.
Yeah, the water felt really good. And it has like black rocky shoreline here, so definitely not sandy, but it's beautiful.
Busy.
Yeah.
This is probably the busiest place we've been here.
Yep, true. Cheers. So foods to try in the Amalfi Coast is primarily seafood and then just general Italian food. So pastas, pizzas, that sort of thing. But the one thing that I will say, if you're in the Amalfi Coast, that you have to try is food with lemon in it. So lemon is very prominent there. So it's in the drinks, it's in the pastas, and it is delicious. So we had limoncello spritzes and they were amazing. Like, we've been making them at home ever since we got back because they were so good. Right. So the seats down here, these lawn chairs or beach chairs or whatever you want to call them, if it is peak season, so May through August, I would recommend reserving them in advance. We were able to just come down and get some. Whenever we walked in, we just paid for them and were able to sit down. But if you are wanting to come here in the summertime, I would recommend booking them in advance. Otherwise, you will probably be sitting on the rocks and it may not be very comfortable. So to each his own. If you're okay with that, awesome. But we just wanted to relax, so we opted to reserve seats.
It was 40 euros per seat and there's no time limit. We could stay here all day if we wanted to.
Yeah, and you can order food and drinks from your umbrella and they bring it out to you. So that's been super nice, and especially on a honeymoon with no kids, we're taking full advantage of that. So
yeah,
it's gonna be a good day. Some church bells going off. It's beautiful.
Our original plan was to spend a couple hours on the beach and then just kind of explore around the Amalfi Coast, but we got these lounge chairs that you see, and we just ended up staying there for hours and hours and hours. You could order drinks and food directly to the chairs, and people just brought them right over. The water was so nice. It was like the temperature was nice. It was nice and clear. They had a little sectioned off spot where you could swim in, where you didn't have to worry about all the boats and yachts and stuff. And I just loved getting in the water, and the views from the water of the mountains and the buildings and the mountainside, it was just beautiful. I absolutely loved it. The beach was a little bit rocky, pretty good sized pebbles, so it's worth wearing your flip-flops down to the beach, but we loved it. We absolutely loved it down there. After our day at the beach, we decided to splurge on a nice meal, and we went to this place called Chez Black, and it's a really nice restaurant. It was really pretty. We got there and spent about an hour and a half, 2 hours just eating and drinking, and like the food was incredible. I had this really good seafood pasta. Joanna had some lasagna. Really, really good place to eat if you're at Positano Beach. Where are we?
We're in Positano. We're trying to find some lemons. We have not had any luck yet. It's fake lemons, not real lemons. And gelato.
After dinner, we went and explored the town of Positano. Joanna really wanted to find some lemons to take back and take with us along the trip. But it was a really pretty little town. It was busy, and everything was pretty expensive, as was most things on the Amalfi Coast, but it was a cute little town.
Yeah, it was very walkable. And we were there in September, so there wasn't the crowds that you'll see over the summer months. But it was extremely walkable. There were ample opportunities for snacks and ice cream and you name it. We also walked out to the levee, I think that's what it's called, and just kind of stood there and watched the waves. And I don't know, it was just a very peaceful and relaxing area of Italy.
Yeah, and the gelato there, I think, was my favorite
Yeah,
that
it
we
was
had
delicious.
anywhere in Italy. It was so good.
All right, guys, getting ready to walk back up to our room. It's gonna be like 1,000 steps, but here we go.
How you doing, JoJo?
I'm gonna die. The one thing that I felt like I wasn't adequately warned about for Positano was the stairs. So yes, it's built into the side of a mountain, but the stairs were straight up and down, and it was very challenging, and I work out quite a bit, so I think those that don't will struggle.
The hotel we stayed at was at the very top of Positano, so we didn't really think it through, and like Joanna said, we were not prepared for those stairs. It was a nightmare. I mean, getting down there, it took a good 45 minutes to walk down, a good hour to get back up. They were steep, they were never ending, there was really not any places to stop. There's just, I mean, it's just non-stop. It just does not end.
Yeah. And I will say that we chose to stay at the top because we had a car, and so we were able to offload our luggage, and we didn't have to drag our luggage up and down the stairs. So I would recommend, if you are a good walker, in shape, don't have ADA issues, to stay towards the top of Positano. That way you're not carrying your luggage up and down the stairs. We saw quite a few people doing that, and they were miserable. So highly recommend not carrying your luggage up and down those stairs.
Yeah, we met some people that were on their way up to explore. I mean, everything down in Positano Beach, like on the beach area, you can find pretty much everything that you would want to find down there. And we met some poor people that had come about halfway up hoping to find some more of the town. There's really not much else up there.
Yeah, it's just places to stay, but no shops are up off the beach. Just made it up. I'm like 10,000 stairs, it feels like.
Couple hundred.
Oh. It feels like 10,000. Stairs are no joke. They're like up and they don't stop. Dying. And I work out fairly regularly too.
I smoked her.
We're getting breakfast at our hotel in Positano, and then we will be heading out. And we're gonna make one stop before we go to Rome. And yeah, but our flight isn't until 8 p.m. today, so we've got some time to make it up to Rome today. So, yep, that's what we got going on.
So day 2, we decided to leave Positano. I mean, we were still pretty close, but we decided to drive along the Amalfi Coast Road. And the drive out there is absolutely beautiful, but it's not for the faint of heart. The roads are very windy. You're right on the sides of mountains, big buses driving around everywhere, coming around blind corners. It's an interesting drive, but it's a beautiful drive. There's lots of places to stop, pull off, take pictures, and get coffee or souvenirs. Very, very cool spot. In some of those coffee shops, though, we came across quite a few people that were begging for help for people to get them cabs or something like that because the buses were too full, and that was in September. I can't even imagine how it would be in the summertime.
Yeah, they were. The buses couldn't get back to them because a lot of the roads were one way. So just keep that in mind. I would recommend renting a scooter if you can get your hands on one. That's a really fun way to see the Amalfi Coast and an easy way to get back and forth. Just be careful if you're riding on them because there's a lot of dangerous turns, etc.
So one of the reasons we left is I actually found a place that Joanna got excited about, and I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation of it, but Fiordo de Furore. I have no idea if that's how you say it or not, but it is a cool spot to go and just take some pictures. I mean, this arching bridge over the top of this canyon with this beach that comes in. I mean, some of my favorite pictures of the whole trip were at this spot, and I cannot recommend it enough.
So you have to actually park kind of far away from it and then walk back to it. So just be careful with the traffic, but there are steps that go all the way down to it. So they're on the end of the bridge. So you take all the steps down to it. And whenever we were there, there was maybe a handful of other people there, but we essentially had it all to ourselves. We didn't lay out or anything because of the waves, but it was absolutely beautiful. So we drove the coast road and it was beautiful. We really wanted to see the Amalfi Coast and just get a feel for everything around there. So we did pull off and get some coffee, and there was some souvenir shops too. We opted not to buy anything, but the coffee was delicious and the locals were super friendly, super kind, and very helpful. We are somewhere on the Amalfi Coast, making our way slowly back to Rome.
This drive is insane.
It's crazy. Right now we're just stopped, so I got out to take some pictures, but it is gorgeous here. Like absolutely stunning here. Despite the traffic. And the wind has been really crazy too. You can tell over here.
Mine too.
So what you can expect on your drive back to Rome from the Amalfi Coast is there's actually really beautiful scenery along the way. So it's pretty mountainous in southern Italy, so that's really cool and very unique. We also had really good roads, but it got really busy when we got to Rome. Hey guys, we're in very remote Italy, and there are these jagged mountains everywhere. absolutely beautiful. And the traffic is not too bad where we're at now, so we're pretty far away from the coast at this point. So, but still windy roads, and we're getting paid with this view. We made it to the airport. It was kind of a rush through Rome, but we made it. Just dropped the car off and getting ready to get on our next flight. Here we go. Edmund, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Checking to see if we'll have a way to get this syndrome.
That's all we've got for you guys today. If you find our information useful, please like, subscribe, share, and save. If you want to catch up on our Italy series, you can do so here. And coming up next, we will be traveling to Portugal. We hope you guys enjoy.